As we navigate the brand new year and see what else 2026 has to offer, full of cinema wise, we have to take one more step back. And that's exactly what we're doing with my top 10 biggest movie surprises of 2025. We've done the best, we've done the worst, we've even done the most disappointing. So now this is going to be our last list, and then we're going to get straight into 2026 stuff. But this is our last one for 2025 right now as I'm filming this with my top 10. So without further ado, we're not going to be talking much. Let's get straight into this list right now. Coming in at number 10, a movie I most certainly didn't love, but a movie I was expecting to hate, and that is going to be Blumhouse's The Woman in the Yard. I had no interest in seeing this whatsoever. We've had so much Blumhouse shit come out, like hell, even last year, with stuff like Imaginary and Afraid. Night Swim, I like. Alright, I've seen it a few times. That movie's good to me. But the rest, hell no. Like, we've had so much bad shit come out from them lately. So I thought this was just going to be another movie that they were just going to blow out in the month of March. And although I didn't love it or didn't really like it either, it is something that I didn't hate either, and I didn't dislike as much as everyone did. It's a movie that I think tackles grief in a way that really comes in a way to me, because as someone who struggled with a lot of suicidal issues in the past, this movie hit really hard. And seeing as someone else, Daniela, the actress who was going through it in the film, it really hit the most to me. I really like the horror elements that get introduced here. It's not the best looking of it, but for a Blumhouse flick, it was one of their darker films in here. So, yeah, Woman in the Yard, a movie, like I said, I didn't hate, but I most certainly didn't love either. Number 9 is going to be Jack Quaid's Novocaine. I love me a smooth date night thriller, and that's exactly what this kind of does here, what it tackles with the script. I think that what the cast introduces here, they all do a really good job of, like Jack Quaid, Amber Midthunder, Ray Nicholson, and even Jacob Batalon, for example. He plays like the side character. He does really good here as like the friend. He brings all the comedy, and I think what it tackles here with the humor and everything, it does get to an extent, like in the third act, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. For like comedies like Anaconda and The Naked Gun, it kind of tackles some different comedy here. I think that it's written well. It's got some really great humorous moments here and there. It's got some really great twists, especially in the third act too, when we find out, spoiler ahead, Amber Midthunder's character is sister to Ray Nicholson's character. That twist had my mind blown. This movie was an absolute blast from start to finish. I will say, though, like I said, it does get to an extent with the comedy here and there, and it does get a little bit too much with Ray Nicholson's character, and I do feel like the villains were a little bit sucky. But, I mean, who am I kidding? I had a blast with it. Not the best Jack Quaid movie, but he certainly had a stacked year for movies. Number 8 is going to be Thunderbolt. If you were to tell me a Marvel movie would be one of my favorite movies of 2025, I would have laughed in your face, because everything after Endgame was just a flop after flop after flop. I mean, sure, we've had stuff like Shang-Chi and just stuff like that, but not all of it was Shang-Chi level hype. Like, I think Shang-Chi's good, but I'm just not as high on it as everybody else. This, though, was damn good. This was definitely one of Marvel's better improvements. It raises the stakes for what's coming next. Like in Avengers Doomsday, I think that all the characters here are so just great and likable, including like Yelena, Ghost, John Walker, even Bob, for example. He plays like 2 villains in this film. I think that he did a really great job here, and it tackles faith and grief really well too. Just like what I was saying with Woman in the Yard, I think that this movie does it better. It tackles just so much stuff here that just gets to an extent for me, because I struggled with a lot of stuff like that in my past, and so it just got to me. Like, it just really got me to tear up a little bit. It was definitely one of the better movies that I've seen this year, and definitely something that I want to see from Marvel looking far into the new year. So yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Thunderbolt's biggest Marvel surprise of the year. Number 7 is going to be Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I am a horror whore. When I tell you that this channel is just mainly crossing over onto horror now since the new year has started, you guys, I cannot wait for you guys to see what I have coming in store, but that's not what we're talking about right now. I've been pretty excited for this movie ever since they announced it at Netflix to Dome back in May. It's been one of my most anticipated movies for October, and it's certainly going to be one of the biggest movies of the year. And it's definitely going to win a few Oscars. Looking forward onto it, probably for Best Picture and Best Cinematography, because I freaking loved Frankenstein. I saw it on Halloween Day. It was actually a perfect day for me to see it because it was part of the scary season, and that's exactly what I loved about it. It has so much going for it here. I think that Jacob Elordi is really, really good here as Frankenstein. Although I don't really like the way he looks in this film on par with the original, I still got over it, and I still just watched this movie by its great cinematography, great performances, great soundtrack, and really, really powerful dialogue, too. A lot of movies this year have just really hit hard with some powerful moments and just some really great scenes in them. It's certainly one of the 2025's better cinema years. Like, it may have not had the best movies for everybody, and including me too, but Frankenstein was certainly one of the biggest improvements, and I cannot wait for people to see this film, just in case if they still missed out on it. It's on Netflix, so you guys should be able to see it. It had like a limited theater release too. I saw it in the theater, so lucky me, I love this thing. Number 6, easily one of my most anticipated movies from 2025, Superman. I have been waiting for James Gunn to relive his glory days basically my entire life. I think that he's the right director to make this film, being interested in him because uh, I don't know. There's just something about that film that I really just hate, and it really just angers me to watch that film. I'm a big Henry Cavill fan, but he just doesn't do it here. David Cornsweet, however, that James Gunn has put out yet. I'm a big fan of some of his films that he's put out, like the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, for example. That trilogy is really, really solid. And this movie is easily one of his better looking films. I do performances here, although I didn't really like where it headed with the whole like girlfriend and boyfriend sidetrack thing here. If you guys haven't seen the film, then you won't know what I'm talking about, but there's like this side plot here where one of the workers from the Daily Planet is in love with Lex Luthor's sister or girlfriend or whatever. They're both like in love. I thought that side of the storyline was terrible, but overall, if you can just get past that and have a great time with this film, uh, yeah, I guess you can. It's certainly one of the best comic book movies of the year. Coming into number 5 is going to be Anaconda, the latest meta reboot starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. I finally got a chance to watch the original film. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's got some pretty shitty CGI, don't get me wrong, but that's what makes it so cool. And I will say, though, that I started to kind of grow on this original one ever since I watched it. I watched it like the day after I saw the meta reboot on Christmas Eve. I watched it with my family. We all had a wonderful time. It was violent as hell, and it was really silly. I thought all the cast did really great there, and it was just certainly one of the biggest guilty pleasures that I've had in my entire life. The meta reboot, when I saw it, I thought it was the best comedy I've seen in decades. I think I might have gotten a little bit too far on that. I still think it's a really great film. It's just that ever since seeing the original film and the day after, I've just kind of started to grow on that film a little bit more. Now, while there's a lot of things I really like here, like Jack Black and Paul Rudd's chemistry, and how like the filmmaking stuff really hit close to home for me, that still does. It's just the original film, it has such a bigger storyline to it. I thought the Anaconda looked better. There's a lot of great action moments in there, and it's really silly, and it really embraces the goofiness. Meanwhile, in here, it barely has any action, which was definitely my biggest negative. But I will say though, since it is on the biggest surprises list, I still enjoyed the film for what it was. Like, I'm not going to complain about both films side by side. I still enjoyed this film. I really liked what they introduced here. That's all I'm really going to say about it. I had a great time, just not too crazy about it now. Coming in at number 4 for me by a landslide, the biggest and baddest comic book movie of the year, Fantastic Four First Steps. I loved this thing so much. I think it's the best comic book movie of the year. Yes, and I know Superman came out. I think that Fantastic Four blends some of its futuristic looks so well. It's so riveting with its emotions. I think that Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn as well, are really good here, especially with The Thing. I think he looks the best out of everything that has came out. All the CGI looks great. I think that Julia Garner is really good as like the new Silver Surfer. While I didn't really understand what they were doing with the feminine at first, which is fine, I am not someone who hates feminism. I didn't really like the new Silver Surfer casting at first. Like, I wanted to hate this movie a lot. That's why it's on this list. It was a movie that I did not want to like. I was not looking forward to, but I actually got so much fun out of it. I think that the new Galactus is the best villain I've seen in decades of comic book history. And it's just a movie that is so well done with its script. It's really, really good with its casting choices. I think that they blend some of the character nostalgia so well here. Only one thing that I really did not like was the choice of the CGI baby. If I can get aside that, I can just have another great time watching this film. I loved Fantastic Four First Steps, and that is why it is number 4 on this list. Coming in at number 3 is going to be F1 by a landslide, the perfect example of a summer blockbuster. I have been waiting and waiting for another perfect summer blockbuster for a very long time. We've gotten some great ones over the years, but I kind of feel like that this type of genre of film hasn't really been utilized all that well. But F1 is the perfect example. It's possibly the second most polarizing film of the year. It's got a really crisp look to it, which I really enjoy, which was like the biggest positive for me. And it's a movie that has so much going for it. I really like what Brad Pitt did with his character, and I really like what Carrie Condon did too. She's an actress I never really go back on a lot, but she did really good here. And Brad Pitt, as I said before, he's an actor I don't really care for, but he's easily the standout in this film. All the racing scenes I think look very good. It's got some really great like cinematography in here, all the wild camera angles where the race cars are driving. It's got a very good like Gran Turismo look to it, and that film I also love too. This is easily better than Gran Turismo. I loved every minute of F1. I'm not as high on it being movie of the year as I am for everyone. It's got a little bit of issues with the story, but I can get past those. I had such a wonderful time watching F1. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Bring Her Back. I was not a fan of Talk to Me. I did not hate that film by whatsoever, but I just could not get into it. It felt way too melodramatic, and I did not like the teenagers in there. They were way too just dumb and way too just teenager-ish in that film, and I just could not get into it whatsoever. Although I do like the Philippou brothers. I think that there's some great YouTubers out there. And so when I heard that they were making a second film titled Bring Her Back, I was cautious yet optimistic. But I left that theater in 3 words: disgusted, amazed, and happy with what I got. Now, before I really go into any further details, I just want to say this is not going to be a film for everyone. It is a very sick and twisted and disgusting movie, and very grotesque also with what it introduces with its side plots here, and its gore too, I will say. If you really do not like, spoilers ahead, people beating children in this film, or any time, then you're not gonna really like it this here. They really take it to a point where you're just gonna get like sick to your stomach in this film. It is a really twisted movie, but I freaking loved it. It is exponentially better than Talk to Me. It is over the top. It's got everything you expect from a movie like Bring Her Back. And so I just walked out of that theater amazed, and it's easily the best film of the year in my opinion. I loved it. But easily the biggest surprise of the year, and right now, is the best children's movie I've seen in decades, and that is going to be the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. Now, when it comes to live-action Disney movies, they do not have a great track record with them. I think really the only ones that I've liked are Beauty and the Beast and this one. Beauty and the Beast is a classic to me. I've loved that animated film, and I felt like, in my opinion, the live-action one really took its story to detail. I thought Emma Watson was a really good choice, especially Dan Stevens as the Beast. He was really good. This, however, I think it's the best one yet. I think it's the best live-action remake yet. I'm a huge How to Train Your Dragon fanboy. I love every single movie. Yes, even the third one. I really like the spin-offs too, especially that holiday one. They all just have such a special place to me. And so when I heard that it was getting a remake, the trailer looked fine at best. But I did not know what I was going to be expecting. But I walked out of that theater just smiling. The child inside myself right now was so happy seeing that film. I thought that Mason Thames and Kiko Parker, I think that's her name, you can correct me in the comment section, they both did a really incredible job in this film. I thought that Gerard Butler coming back in the film too was a great choice of casting. I think that it's easily the best animated, or if you would even call it that, movie of the year, and it's easily the best live-action movie I have seen in decades. I want to see more live-action movies like this. Movies that can remake its predecessor, but do it in the right possible way. And that's exactly what How to Train Your Dragon did, and that is why it is number one on this list.
That's gonna be it for this one, guys. If you've enjoyed the rest of my content that I've been posting, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, like, and comment, and follow all my social media links, link in the description. Be sure to join my new Patreon that I just hooked up. I'm gonna be posting comedy, drama, and I even posted my new podcast too called Ride or Die. I'll be linking that down below too. And if you wanna watch more content, like I said, be sure to ring the bell, and thank you so much for watching.